Shuck her title. The day my children realized who their father really was. I am Henry Parker, a father, a husband, a man who once believed that love alone could hold a family together. For 40 years, my wife and I gave everything we had to our children, Ethan and Lily. We weren't rich, but we had enough to build a home filled with warmth, laughter, and the smell of my wife's apple pies on Sundays. When they were young, I used to sit at the edge of their bed and tell them stories about kindness and honesty. I told them that someday, when I'm old, they'll take care of me, not because they have to, but because they'll want to. I believed them when they said, "Of course, Dad, always, but life has a cruel way of testing promises." Years later, time moved faster than I realized. One day I woke up and my hands trembled when I tried to hold a cup of coffee. My eyes blurred at night. My wife, Margaret, had developed arthritis so bad she couldn't even tie her apron anymore. We were slowing down, fading into the background of our children's busy lives. Ethan became a successful real estate agent. He moved to another city with his wife, Claire, who never liked us much. Lily married a doctor, lived in a fancy house, and only called when she needed something, usually money. For a while I told myself, they're busy, they'll visit soon. But soon turned into months, then years. Our phone barely rang. Our birthdays passed quietly, and then, the day that broke my heart, Margaret fell in the kitchen. She cried out in pain, and I rushed to her. She was trembling, clutching her hip, tears streaming down her face. I called Ethan, no answer. I texted Lily. She said, "Dad, I can't come right now. We're traveling." That night, as I sat beside my wife in the hospital, I made a promise, not out of anger, but out of love. I promised her that the world would know we were good parents, and that one day, our children would understand the cost of forgetting those who raised them. The silent years. We didn't confront them. We didn't argue. Instead, we chose silence. We stopped calling first. We stopped sending gifts on holidays. We stopped pretending everything was fine. But we did something else. We started living again. For us. We sold our house. The same house our children grew up in. They didn't even ask where we went. We used the money to buy a small cottage in a quiet coastal town in Maine. We made friends, real friends, who checked on us, shared dinner with us, and laughed with us like family should. We started donating anonymously to local schools, shelters, and old age homes. Every month I'd write checks to help people who had no one. People like we once were. Our savings were no longer for our children. They were for kindness, for peace. With a will. A few years later, my health started to fade. My heart wasn't strong anymore. Margaret would hold my hand at night and whisper, "Maybe we should forgive them." And I would say softly, "We already did." We changed our will, not out of spite, but out of fairness. We left everything to charity, the cottage, the money, the land. The only thing we left for Ethan and Lily was a letter. I wrote it myself. Every word came from the heart. My dear children, you may not understand why your mother and I did what we did, but someday you will. You see, love is not measured in how much we give. It's measured in how much we are remembered when we have nothing left to offer. We raised you with open hands, but you walked away when our hands trembled. Now that's okay, because love, real love, does not seek revenge. It only teaches. We forgive you, but we also want you to learn that life will never bless those who forget the hands that fed them. Greater than take care of your own children. Teach them better than we could teach you. And when you grow old, I hope you find the peace we found, not in wealth, not in inheritance, but in forgiveness. Neighbors told me later. They came to our cottage months after our funerals, sat by the sea and cried. They placed flowers near the old oak tree Margaret loved so much, and they whispered, "We're sorry." The real revenge isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. It's the kind of revenge that doesn't destroy, it awakens. Our children lost our wealth, yes, but they gained something far more valuable. They gained guilt, reflection, humanity. They started volunteering at senior homes. They began visiting other elderly people who had no one. I'd like to believe, somewhere deep inside, they understood. They became the kind of people their parents had always prayed they would be. And that, my friend, was the sweetest revenge of all. Because we didn't need to hurt them to teach them. We just needed to love them enough to let go. Moral of the story, parents never truly seek revenge. They seek remembrance. No matter how much the world changes, no success can replace the warmth of the hands that raised you. So if your parents are alive, call them, visit them, because one day you'll wish you could hear their voice again, and it'll be too late. Ending lines for narration. Kushar video outro. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real, emotional stories that remind us what truly matters: love, family, and forgiveness.